You're a good one, Mr. Mensch. You're a generous, kind-hearted soul, 'cause your heart is full of giving. Your deeds, they make amends, Mr. Mensch. You're a friend until the very end. I caught the tail end of Mr. O'Malley's stream. Lots of scandal. Lots of fun things, people. Lots of water cooler talk. Lots of speculation on dignity and honesty and temptation, I guess. Ooh, that's a good one. Oh man. Temptation. I'm gonna have to schedule that one. Ooh, we're so tempted. You want that cheeseburger, you want that slice of pie. Pardon the metaphor. That's a good one. I think so. Watch Fashion Police happens on Monday. Tuesday, I have the incomparable JS. It's JAIE'. And he is my friend since childhood. Incomparable drummer. Hilarious guy. And has a huge Instagram following called The One Called Jay. So we're going to do that one on spirituality. That's going to be Tuesday. My first guest on Dirk Weekdays. Sheen is finishing up his channel, his show. I watched it. It was entertaining. I love to see what he's got to say on his solo shows. It's always good. A lot less drinking, though, huh? Who needs a drink? Apparently everybody. I just had a coffee and I have my obligatory Diet Coke. I'm not a big alone drinker, even though I'm with you all now. Well, only 15 of you. I mean, I would love a gorgeous glass of Bordeaux right now, but I can't. Drinking alone for me is just, I don't know. It's not my thing. I'm kind of a social drinker, social everything, but I'm excited about this temptation thing that just kind of came to me. Every morning with coffee, and I'm an early riser, I sit in front of my computer and just go, what am I going to talk about tonight? Because, when we started, when you're doing it several days a week, now I'm doing it 4 days a week, plus watch Fashion Police. So I don't want to do 2 shows back to back. It just seems like a lot of pain in the hole. Coming up with something interesting to start the show, because obviously we don't talk about that the whole time. It's only an hour, because just like tonight's topic, I don't want to hang around that long for anybody. If Jesus Christ came to Earth and, had a big show and everybody was coming and Ticketmaster and StubHub were charging a lot of money, I would probably want to stay for about 45 minutes. And it's just because I get bored. And I don't think I'd get bored with Jesus. Probably not. Hopefully he'd say some inspirational things. And maybe I'd be like Mr. North and want to stay for the whole show. But I just think that a lot of shows are too long now. Having said that, the price of entertainment, they cost a lot of money. It costs an awful lot of money. I actually should have gone through my scrapbook, which I have. I was kind of I was a very disorganized child. I'm a disorganized person now for certain things, but like some people journal and they keep scrapbooks and all kinds of great stuff like that. Well, I started to do that for the concerts. I've like Kiss shows and Rush shows in the late 70s and 80s. And, my sister Pat was older than me and she took me to a lot of stuff and I have tickets. And so the very first Kiss show I went to was December 14th, 1977. Yes, kids, I'm that old. But I was a little boy. And you want to know what the ticket price is on that show? I'll ring the bell. I'll ring the super chat bell. I mounted it to my mic stand, so it'll resonate a little bit and shake the condenser mic. Anybody have any idea? There's only 21 of you in the room right now because the machine's probably still going. And why would you go there? Why would you come to me when you got him? Oh, Nathaniel super sticker. It's not as much resonance as when I held it, right? Unbelievable. Nathaniel Hannon. Hi, Nathaniel. Graham says it's $5. No, that's wrong. Nathaniel with a super sticker. $4.99. Thank you so much. Nope. Let's see. OHC Consulting says $7. Nope. JT Harry says $12.50. Nope. Jeff Ayers says $6,500. That's probably what it cost last weekend. Probably if you got it through StubHub. No, it says $8.50. It says Kiss. Ron Delsner presents. That was the big promoter back in the day for most of my childhood, for all the Kiss and Maiden and Queen and all the shows I saw at Madison Square Garden as a kid were all by Ron Delsner. And here's my cat. Hey, honey. $8.50. It says no cans, no bottles, and no flash photography. And nowadays, all anybody does is hold their cameras up for the whole fucking show, ruining it for all the old codgers like me who don't give a fuck. I want to be in the moment and I want to watch the show. Oh, Sheen must have left his chat because 172 people just showed up. Thanks, Ush. So my sister Pat took me to my very first show. It was Kiss at Madison Square Garden, December 14th, 1977. As so many people I know of my age plus or minus 5 years all went to see that show or those series of shows, and it changed our life. We all wanted to be rock stars. We all wanted to play guitar, sing, or blow up stuff. We all wanted pyro and all that amazing junk, The tickets were $8.50. And it says no cans, no bottles, meaning don't bring your own shit, and no flash photography. My, how things have changed. And that's what's really, really scary. Before I get to the sad cost of the price of entertainment, let's see who's in the room. I see So It Goes, Bert Dundee, Rufus, Hans. Hey, Hans. Danielle. Hey, baby. Rufus, Scott Smith, Nathaniel, of course, Bert Dundee, Graham Cartwright, OHC's here, PK Pandy, JT Harry, Hans, Jeff Ayers, hey man, Glenn Parker, Ray, hey Danny Gutierrez, ready? $2. As you say in Queens, $2. Patricia Teague, the lovely Patricia Teague is here. Good evening to you, Patricia. Good to see you. Ray, super sticker. Everybody gets a ding when they do a super chat or super sticker and an acknowledgement. Thank you so much. And thanks for the already 10 people left the room because I don't know why. I guess I should have a drink and I don't know. I feel bad, but thanks. I appreciate the amazing new people that showed up. Bert Dundee says, best gig you have been to. I've thought about this about 100 times. The best gig. I don't know. I mean, I've seen some crazy gigs. In hindsight, I think, wow, that was probably the best show of all time. Like I saw Queen with Freddie Mercury 4 times. 3 times at Madison Square Garden and once in Wembley. Carolyn Martin. Hello, Carolyn Martin. How are you? Chili Badger's here. Shane McGee. £5.99. €5.99. I want to say £5.99 or pund, as it used to be back in the day when people had their own money. Now everybody's on the same money. Radiohead. Never saw them. Not my thing. I've tried. I liked the Bends a lot, and then I kind of just jumped off the bandwagon. I don't know. Can I just say that I think that they try too hard to be weird? It's like Tool. It's just art for art's sake sometimes. I just can't. It's not snappy, catchy. It's not something I can dance to. Nathaniel Hannon, $1.99. The bell is Pavlovian. Let's hope so. Ray says, you Dirk, you can ding me anytime. A joke, by the way. You dirty bastard, you. But here, this is for you, Ray. There you go. I'm going to hurt my microphone. Oh, the incomparable Carolyn Martin with $49.99. Friday's payday. Great shows. Thanks. Thank you, Carolyn. You get the big bell. I need better resonance on that. Actually, I'm going to mount it on something else because it doesn't really like being on the mic stand. I thought it was a good idea because it's for one of my bikes because I have a lot of mountain bikes and I don't use them because I'm fat fuck now and I need to get back on the bike. And I need to take better care of them in the winter because they're outside and they're covered, but I need to put them indoors because they're very nice bicycles. You know, with shocks and triple clamp forks and all that kind of hoo-ha. Like I was really, really severely into downhill mountain biking for a while, and I love the gear. But anyway, so we were talking about the prices of tickets. So the very first concert I ever went to was $8.50. And then I looked at a bunch of other ones earlier, and then the next year it was $9. All the Queen shows were $9, and then $12.50, $15.50. And I don't go to shows anymore. It's so rare. The last big concert I went to was Iron Maiden at Barclays. And it was my first time at Barclays. And I went for free because my great buddy Patrick Hicks called me up last minute and said, hey, man, I can't go tonight. You want my tickets? And I was like, fuck yeah. And I went and I grabbed my friend Colin. And because I took him for his birthday to see Maiden about in 2008. That's Asheen's old singer from Mr. North. And that was on their big tour. Like they did a revitalization of their most famous tour from the 80s. Anyway, this was like a new tour, but it was all the hits and it was a great show and it was free. We had really good seats. And I looked at the face value and, you know, a band like Iron, sure. Here's how it works. Depending on who you are as an artist, and there are very many reasons why people charge astronomical prices for tickets. And then there's other reasons of why you're paying astronomical rates for tickets. It has oftentimes, not all the time, it is often not because of the artist, but because of, you know, the secondary market. It's like the watch market, you know, they can ask whatever they want for a Rolex. You know, if it's hot, if it's the Taylor Swift Rolex, or if it's the, you know, who else is big? Ed Sheeran, or, you know, whomever. So I wanted to get a better idea of what's going on with ticket prices. So what did I do? I looked up a bunch, and here's a little listy poo of concert tickets and what they cost. So John Mayer's Sob Rock. Now, John Mayer's Sob Rock album was an 80s throwback record. It wasn't a popular record. It was very Dire Straits and very late 80s, maybe Richard Marx. It had a real nostalgic, even the graphics looked like Nagel. It was $500 a person. One Direction for their last tour was averaged $1,000 per person. Beyonce and Jay-Z's VIP tour On the Run, that extravaganza of absolute bollocks, $19.91 per person. Lady Gaga's Las Vegas residency. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I remember when casino shows were free. You would play at the tables, and that, not that I'm a high roller or anything, but, you know, I know people who are. You'd get tickets for the show. I once went to the Borgata. It was my first time in a casino. I played Baccarat. I won 10 grand real quick. And it was with somebody else's money. I learned how to play it on the way down there. We were driving down. My friend was from Macedonia, and he's like, "I want you to play you be my first luck. Very good." And in politically incorrect accent where I'm doing the guy from Macedonia. And he's like, "Please, please, please." He gives me 10 grand. He gives me 1 grand. I turned it into 11 grand in like 10 minutes. And this is beginner's luck. I had a woman come up behind me with a clipboard. She asked for my key and she goes, "We'd like to upgrade you. Would you like a drink?" I asked for a cup of tea, milk, no sugar, bag in. And she came back and she gave me a new key like 5 minutes later. And I said, when do I have to move my stuff? I'll need my old key. She goes, "Oh no, we already did it for you. And would you like tickets to tonight's show?" And Sting was playing. And I said, "I would love to see the Sting show." And she said, "Well, unfortunately, that is sold out. But we have like the, Smurf extravaganza, or, a Melissa Etheridge cover band, or we have, some kind of other shit in their secondary stages. Like they have, Borgata's got an arena, and all the Vegas places have big arenas. Obviously, you know what U2's doing there. Um, anyway, I couldn't get into that, but tickets were free when you were playing. Now it's the same as everywhere. And there's a reason for that. So Lady Gaga's residency is $2,000 per person. The Rolling Stones 50 and counting tour, $1,000 per person. We're dropping in price. Justin Bieber, I don't know why anybody cares. The Weeknd, I never knew why anybody would care. Elton John's farewell Yellow Brick Road tour. And here's where it gets interesting. $4,500 per person. Holy fuck show. This is a guy that's been touring for 50 years, and he did 350 some odd dates so far on that tour. Somewhere over the course of 2 or 3 years. And my cat is yelling, "Why are you yelling? Laverne, why are you yelling? Come in here and say hi to everybody." She's yelling. I try to time it where she snacks and she wants to take a nap, but it's not working. Maroon 5, the M5 LV residency, $8,701 per person. I'm assuming that these people are hostages, right? They would have to be hostages, because who in their right fucking mind would pay $8,000 to see Maroon 5? Then it says Led Zeppelin, the Amit Ertegun should be content. This was about 10 years ago. And this was at the O2 Arena. It was one show. Jason Bonham on drums. It was the last time you'll ever see Led Zeppelin. So, I mean, I can understand people paying through the nose. Taylor Swift, I'm not so sure. Now, she got busted for being in cahoots with Ticketmaster, who is, here's a piece of trivia for everybody. Live Nation and Ticketmaster, they're in bed together. It's this horrible monopoly. To Paul from Enterprise, for all my Trekkie fans, and I know everybody's been writing me, a lot of you guys are big Trek fans. To Paul, Jolene Blaylock, who was the commander, second in command, number 2 on Star Trek Enterprise, she is married to the president of Live Nation, so she doesn't have to do anything. Live Nation is a company that used to be a booking agency, and now they're an all-in-one talent resource. They're your talent agency, they're your booking agency, they manage you, and they're a record company. And the impetus, the reason why people are charging so much money now is because this is probably the only way that they can make a revenue stream, because no one, thank you Napster in the beginning, and all the streaming services, nobody's paying for music anymore. They're doing these subscriptions to Spotify. And listen, Spotify does not pay people. I've spoken to artists who actually sell records, unlike myself. So exactly what's going on here. Exactly. It's nobody's making any money, so they have to charge you through the nose to go to get your ass in the seat to go see something. If you want to go see a Broadway show, I used to go to Broadway shows all the time. We buy tickets at Christmas time. Traditionally in my family, we get tickets for each other for Broadway shows. I mean, it's $1,000 for 2 tickets now. That's insane for an hour and 25 to 40 minutes, 2 hours tops with intermission. That is an incredible amount of money to sit through a show. And like I said, I mean, if Jesus came to town and he did his big show, hey, I'm on earth now, I'm going to preach to y'all, I'm going to show you the afterlife and all that stuff, I'd be probably interested for about 35 to 40 minutes. After that, I'd be like, I'm ready to go. Daniel Gutierrez says, how much to see a reunion of Mr. North? Well, I'm assuming I'd get to go to the show for nothing, but I'd pay for it. Emmett O'Malley, who's the guitar player for Mr. North, and Sheen's brother says, "I wouldn't sit through Maroon 5 if you paid me 8,000, dude. I'd be with you at the bar heckling. If we got paid 8,500, I'd make sure that we went, and I'd make sure that we heckled them because that would be way more fun." So you have this thing with these ticket prices and how much it costs, and it's really unbelievable. I was looking through other stuff, and um, Taylor Swift was in the news for how much her tickets cost. And, before, listen, I'm not going to slag her. I don't know enough about her. I heard a couple of her songs and they're good. I like that Blank Spaces song. It's not bad. And I just don't, I think she's mediocre at best, but she's got the zeitgeist. She's got the ear of the kids, and that's great. But it said that the resale prices to Taylor Swift's Eras Tour were way more expensive. Let me get a picture of her here. Hold on a second. Let me blow this up so you can read it with me. Resale prices to Taylor Swift's Eras Tour were more expensive than her previous tours. For trusted resellers like StubHub, Vivid Seats, and TicketSmarter, I don't even know what that is, resale prices for Taylor Swift's The Eras Tour can range from $500 to $7,000. Now, let's think about her demographic. The parents are taking the girls to see them. Maybe there's a couple of, 40-year-old broads that think that they're, 30 or 20, like we used to have with Madonna. Though those prices can fluctuate depending on the date, location, how soon your concert is. KTLA reported in August 2023 that the resale prices for Taylor Swift tickets to her SoFi Stadium dates in Los Angeles in August started at around $600 to $700 for nosebleed seats. So now you are paying that kind of money for nosebleed seats to see Taylor Swift. Now, I don't know how many people go to the big shows, right? My sister took me to see Paul McCartney at Giant Stadium last year for my birthday. I was very excited to see Paul. I had never seen Paul McCartney live. I know that's absolutely terrible. We had, upper, not the tippity top, but the second to the tippity top in a stadium. You're in a giant fishbowl. And we just watched him on the TV screen the whole time because you can't see him. Bruce Springsteen showed up. John Bon Jovi showed up. John Bon Jovi came out and croaked his way through Happy Birthday. It was atrocious. I don't know what happened to him, but I feel for you, John. John's got a psychological thing going on with his vocals, and we need to have a sit down. It's all psychological. And then Bruce Springsteen came out and he had like this chartreuse green, like kind of short sleeve muscle shirt on. The guy was tanned as fuck. He's how old now? And he had a guitar. The guy was incredible. And I'm not even the biggest Springsteen fan. He was incredible. Incredible. She paid $600 a seat for that show, and we watched it on TV. I'd rather sit in my apartment and watch a live Quello concert or a Blu-ray of a show, because there's only a handful of artists that I want to see, and there's almost nobody I want to pay that kind of money to. I mean, is that just $1,000 for a ticket? I mean, I would maybe consider 200 maximum, 250 for a very special event, like when I went to when Kate Bush played in London in 2014. It was her first concert dates in 35 years. So I had to go, and I fly for free. Well, at that time I flew for free. I was like, okay, I got in there, got the tickets, blah, 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 blah. And that Citibank fraud alerted me. I didn't get to go, but those tickets were £79. 79 pounds, which, at that time it could have been double. I think it was around 2014 because I was in London later that year with Dana, and I remember it was like $1.83 to the pound. So, okay, so we're saying, it was less than $200 a ticket to see Kate Bush, which nobody gets to see. She's an apparition. She's a ghost. Nobody goes to see her. And I love her. So there you go. I would pay for that, but I haven't attempted to see anybody. I have not attempted to pay for anybody because I cannot justify that kind of pricing. I do buy records when I like them. If an artist I like, comes out with a record, I will buy it. I buy their books because I'm an old school guy. I have Apple Music and I stream stuff, but if it's good, I'll buy the record and I'll buy it on CD even because I bought a CD player not long ago because I didn't have one. I also have a vinyl player. I have a record player, as we'd say back in the day, record player. Mark from Brooklyn says, the truth about World Trade Center Building 7, Pelosi lies for more war funding. Dude, get the fuck out of my room. The fuck? We're not here for conspiracy theories. I just had to read that because I was like, what the hell is that about? What the hell is that? Go away. Go away, buddy. I'm going to put him in a timeout. I'm putting you in a timeout. Go stand in the corner with your dunce cap on because you're a bad boy. How much are tickets for U2's Vegas thing? Now, I'm completely against the U2 Vegas residency because Larry Mullen isn't there. U2 is one of the one bands like the Beatles where they 4 guys. It's the same 4 guys. How many bands can you name that have the same 4 guys? Queen, until Freddie died, but then they got together with Adam Lambert, and that's a whole thing I'm not going to talk about. But it's the same guys after all this time, and then they just do that. They don't need the money. Bono's almost a billionaire. To do this Sphere thing, hey man, put it on hold for 6 freaking months. Oh, contracts were signed. We had to get a drummer. I just totally disagree with that. I just hate the fact that Larry is not there for that. I've watched the show on YouTube. They look like ants. They look like tiny little ants. And it's an experience, an immersive experience. It's like immersion. You're in this giant immersive thing. And leaves are falling on you, and incense around, and smell-o-vision, and all that stuff. It's U2's gasp at trying to be relevant because nobody cares about their music anymore, other than this. If they put out a new record, no one would give a shit. Legacy artists, nobody cares. Like the guys in Kiss always said, why should we make a new record if they want to hear rock and roll all night and Detroit Rock City, and they don't want to hear anything else? So even if we put out the best record of career, which of course they wouldn't, U2 I think could though. Because I think that they've made great records up until I think all their records are great. I don't think they've ever made a shitty record. And before you say Pop, that's my favorite U2 record. It's my favorite. Please, Gone, Staring at the Sun, Discotheque. What else is on that record? That record is amazing. If you wear that velvet dress, I love that album. I absolutely love it. I think it's incredible, and I love the way it sounds. So yeah, we are in this situation now where entertainment costs a ton of money. So here's an article which I thought was really fantastic, and I'll blow it up for you. Right? Where is it? Here it goes. How about New York State, where I live? New York passed one of the more consumer-friendly sets of ticket legislation in the United States in years over this past summer, when the state declared that all ticket sellers must provide their fees upfront rather than hide them until the end of the purchase. The state also declared that resellers have to disclose the ticket's original face value when customers buy them on the secondary market, instead of from the original seller. But in the 2 months since the law went into effect, many of the biggest ticket marketplaces in the live industry aren't following the new law, a state senator influential in its passing says. So what does that say? That says that they're trying to cull the herd here. They're trying to stop the madness. Because, with 14-year-old girl, when Heather or Madison goes, Mommy, we got to see Taylor Swift. And she goes online to look up tickets. Meanwhile, when you go online, if you type in Dodger Stadium or MetLife Stadium or Madison Square Garden or Radio City Music Hall, you never get taken to their box office. You get taken to Ticketmaster. Also, I remember when I used to work for a ticket scalper. His name was Lior, and he was Israeli, and he was this guy that had this giant network. I did this when I was 15. Me and all my hoodlum friends from the streets of Queens used to work for this guy. What we would do is we'd come with like a garbage bag with different sets of clothes, and we'd wait online at the Garden, at Radio City Music Hall, the Nassau Coliseum, whatever the music venues were, and we would buy tickets. I'd have 10 tickets, 10 tickets, or whatever the limit was. And then we go around the corner, change our clothes, get back online, we used to get these bracelets, and people online would get the bracelets first come, first serve. And yeah, we worked for this guy. This was, actual scalping, like scalping outside the venue, which I just found out is the only form of scalping that is illegal. It is illegal to resell tickets outside the venue. I did not realize that it is legal to sell them anywhere else. Go ahead. It's your ticket. It's your body. It's your choice. You get to do whatever the fuck you want. Now, say my name is Joe Blow and the Schmoes, and I have a hit record out, and I'm a working man, and it's all about working. I'm John Cougar Mellencamp. Who's Ernest? Who's one of the more earnest guys? He did Farm Aid. That he's earnest. Springsteen for the most part, even though he's a trillionaire. I want to do a tour, and I want people to be able to afford my show. Like Kate Bush didn't allow people to scalp her tickets. If you got the 4 tickets, you got 4 tickets. You were allowed 4 tickets. Your name got printed on the top. And the rule was when you go to the venue with your ticket and it has, Dirk Kennedy's name on it, Dirk Kennedy better be standing right next to you with you, or you wouldn't get in. If you had a ticket with somebody's name on and you could not produce that person, you were denied admittance into the show. She would not do it. You also had to lock up your she did that. She was the first person with a headset mic. She's ridiculous. She locked up her phones. I mean, there's a couple of people who got some footage of her shows, but for the most part, there isn't any. She didn't want people to do it. She wanted people to be in the show and be present in the moment, which was great, which she did. Good for her. So if you are Joe Blow and the Schmoes and you book a deal with I book a show at Madison Square Garden, and I want the bricklayer, and I want the window cleaner, I want the street guy, I want the waitress, I want them all at my show. So, because I speak for you, and I set my tickets for $29.99 per ticket, and it sells out. Now people have to buy my tickets because I'm so huge. $500, $600, $700. I don't get that money. This is pure fucking profit. This is secondary watch market. This is just gougery on the highest level. So what happens? I get nothing. Joe Blow doesn't get it. And all those people he thinks, wow, I did a really good thing. But then when you catch wind of it, then, Mellencamp or Joe Blow would definitely be the type of guy that would, try to fight the man. Metallica tried to do it and they lost. Metallica tried to fight Napster and they lost. And I'm not the biggest Lars Ulrich fan in the whole wide world, but I got to say that guy that guy was Chicken Little, right? The sky's falling, and nobody believed him. But he was fucking right. He was 100% correct. Everybody record companies didn't pay any attention at all. And he went to Congress and, people vilified him, because he's annoying. He's always chewing gum. Dude. He's annoying. However, he was correct. And what do we have now? Nobody buys records. I mean, nobody, the joy of buying an album when it came out and having the artwork and the lyrics and the liner notes and all the cool Easter eggs that you used to get when you bought a record. Now it's just compressed bullshit that streams on your car radio. And I mean, this is what we have and this is what we get. There are, in my particular milieu, not, I don't have one. Do I have one handy? I might. Yeah, hold on. Like, I'm not pimping my band out in any way, shape, or form, but that was the last record we did. It did a couple of years ago. So vinyl is very, very big in Europe. So we did a vinyl record, and this is the way they package it when they send you shit. So we decided to make it look really metal because it's called Destroy All Humans, and we put a skull on it. But we did it in this very expensive This is high gloss and silver ink. And then we did this. We did a giant gatefold. This is like old school rock and roll. You have all the lyrics, all the thank yous. Everybody thanked everybody over the years, all that stuff. A picture of the band, and we put together a package. And we sold some because they buy records in Europe. In Europe, they don't stream, especially with like hard rock and heavy metal. We wanted to put together a package because it means something to people when they really like an artist. I'm sure Taylor Swift's, Fearless and all those records she does, I'm sure she probably has vinyl because vinyl's so hot right now. And somebody who's as big as her, I'm sure there are collectors that are looking to collect all that stuff, and she just redid all the records, and I have total respect for her for doing that, because that guy, that dickwad fuck show motherfucker, was ripping her the fuck off. And even though she's richer than fuck, it doesn't really matter, because he's stealing her intellectual property, which is what Prince went on about. Sorry, my mustache is so itchy tonight, I don't know why. And Prince did it because he was tired of Warner Brothers stealing from him. And, he signed a record deal as a very, very young genius. Who the fuck knew he was going to be that? From For You, his first record, or, nobody knew he was going to be this Purple Rain shit was going to happen. I mean, he did, because he was that good. And then he was the guy that did that big, the Slave, and then changed his name to an unpronounceable symbol, But anyway, I digress. Hey, super chat, Thomas Burnett. Ding! I see you're using a blue baby bottle mic. What is your dream mic to sing through? AKG C414? No, that's for kick drums. AKG C12? That's for... I kind of put that in the background. U87, U67, U47, FET, RCA 77. Oh, listen to you, Mr. Engineer. Telefunken. I'll tell you, this is going to be, I'll keep this brief because this is so inside. This is one of the original Latvian ones. So when Blue came out of the box with these cool, inexpensive condenser microphones, I mean, I think at the time they were more expensive than they are now. I think they were $700. Neumann is the standard, is it not? I mean, U47, U87, yeah, sure. I have never recorded through one of those. Actually, it's not true. The first Hitman record was a U47. But when we got a little bit more control of what we're doing, we had a producer. He still works with us, named Bob St. John. He actually made me use a B&K, a Brulin Care. You know that? It was the one that looked like a pencil. I don't know why we used that mic, but on our second record, Vivis Machina, we used that. For that record I just showed you, I used this mic because it sounds great. It's a great sounding mic. It sounds warm and toasty and analog. I mean, I wouldn't mind having one of those blue bottles, but now that they were bought out by that company that makes keyboards, makes computer keyboards, Tastiera. What is the name of that? They make mice and stuff. Forget the name of that company. So Neumann is it. What's my dream mic to own? Neumann 47. But I wouldn't mind having one of those big bottles with the interchangeable capsules. They're great. Anyway, thank you for the £9.99. £9.99. Look at that. Thank you so much. I'm going to go backwards because I missed a bunch of people when I was going off on a tangent. Rufus says, Boy is his favorite record. I mean, I saw U2 with my friend Mimi Reichenbach at a club called Malibu on Long Island. And I believe it wasn't War because they were already big. It must have been October. Or maybe it was Boy. It was in the early 80s. She was a couple of years older than me, and I was friends with her brother, but she was cooler. And she worked for Warner Brothers, WEA. She took me to shows. She took me to see everybody too, which was great. I saw U2 when they were playing clubs, and they were great. She said, "What'd you think?" I said, "The singer was amazing." That was my comment. Daniel Gutierrez says Zeropa. Well, Zeropa is the follow-up to Octung Baby, and Listen, those guys. I'm gonna pull up the list of the highest grossing because I'm getting off on a tangent. So I'm gonna go to a couple things I set up for tonight's chat. Here's a list of the highest grossing concert tours in history, which, by the way, Taylor Swift has just eclipsed everybody. So here we go. Taylor Swift, 1,039,263,762. Now, this is for 36 shows. Let me see what this is. 60 shows. Okay, 60 shows. Elton John's farewell, Yellow Brick Road. Why does that sound weird? 939 million. It's almost $1 billion. But look at this, 330 shows. What does that tell you? Because that's the gross. This is not what you pay through StubHub. This is what it actually costs. So that's the gross. This is not the net. So this is what they're grossing. So what does that tell you? It tells you that she was gouging the living fuck out of all of you because she did 60 shows and earned that kind of money. Ed Sheeran's Divide tour. I don't have a problem with Ed Sheeran, but I don't know why people would go to a stadium to see a Wishnick. He played 255 shows for $776 million. She did 60 shows. This is what's wrong with the world. She was gouging the fuck out of everybody. Sorry, she was. U2's U2 360 tour, which was, the biggest tour for years and years and years and years and years. Adjusted for inflation, it's almost $1 billion. 736 million. How many shows? 110. Then you got Coldplay on their most recent tour. Who knew that anybody went to see Coldplay anymore? Harry Styles, he sold out 15 nights at the Garden. He won't be able to do that in 3 years. Guns N' Roses, that's been going on forever. Beyonce, why? Rolling Stones, well, of course. Coldplay again. Roger Waters, The Wall. Big ones. Madonna's Sticky Sweet. Madonna's new tour, I don't know. That looks terrible. But U2. It's the same cast of characters doing the same thing. But the problem is they're all doing 200 shows, 160 shows, 90, a lot of shows. She did 60 shows for that kind of money. This is not because Ticketmaster and all those companies are gouging all the people. This is because that's what she was charging. So shame on her for that, because those are all little girls whose parents had to pay for that. And, a lot of rural people, probably people who live in the, poverty belt somehow sold maybe they had to close up the filling station and sell the pickup truck just so they could get little Jenny Lee or Amber Lynn. It's that Taylor Swift show, because she's going to be a singer herself one day. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? I just think that that's atrocious. That you meet a nice girl, you meet a nice guy, you meet a nice they, you meet them, and them wants to go to a show, and you can't afford it. So they date somebody else. They goes out with them. Yeah. It's terrible. Daniel says, Depeche Mode or Duran Duran? I'm Team Duran Duran, my friend. Depeche Mode's never been a band I've been into. I like several of their songs. Dave Gahan's not my kind of singer. Simon Le Bon is. Duran Duran, fucking great. They're rock stars. Depeche Mode, it's a little too new wavy for me, but I get it. Tons of respect. Tons. Actually, I prefer Erasure over Depeche Mode because of Andy Bell. And if I should falter, a little something to make me sweeter, oh baby, refrain from breaking my heart. I'm so in love with you. I love him. Sounds like Alison Moyet. I think that's why he picked him. Thomas Burnett. Depeche Mode all day long. R.I.P. Fletch. Yeah, that was terrible. That was kind of quick. I mean, I have tons of respect for Depeche Mode. Don't get me wrong. I really do. But it's just not my thing. But they're great. I see it. Unlike Maroon 5, who's not great. I can't say I don't get them. I just think that they suck. And that's really bad. OHC Consulting, George Michael Sony. Yeah. Well, you know, when that happened, and this is coming from a person who is a massive George fan, because I mean, my God, what a singer, what a songwriter. Wow. Wow. But when he put out Listen Without Prejudice, which was his second record, which is his masterpiece, by the way, you guys don't have it, don't buy my record, buy his. He put out a record called Listen Without Prejudice, and that's the one where the girl, all the models, Linda Evangelista and Cindy Crawford and Tatiana Patisse and Naomi Campbell, and a missing one. Oh God, married to Ed Burns. They were in his video. He wouldn't do his videos. He wasn't promoting it, didn't tour for it. And he said, I'm not going to promote this record. And then he sued Sony for not promoting the record. All right. I'm not Team Sony, but George, come on. JT Harry says SM57. Hey, you know what? An SM50, you know who uses an SM57 in the studio? Bono. SM57, SM58. He uses a handheld. They put the speakers out of face. He's good to go. It just goes to show you a great artist will do a great vocal. It doesn't matter what guitar it is, what amp it is. Doesn't matter. We all love gear. I love gear. You love gear. My friends all love gear. But, in the hands or the voice of a great artist, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really fucking matter. Like Colin from Mr. North. Amazing, amazing, amazing. One of my favorite singers in the whole wide world. Doesn't fucking know anything about gear at all. Maybe he does a little bit now, but I remember I was like, oh, what mics do you like? When we were becoming friends back in the day, couldn't be bothered, couldn't be arsed at all. And didn't matter. A guy could sing into a paper bag and the guy would sound fucking great because he's great. Great singer. Martin Evans, 10 pounds. Upvote, guys. Hey, right. Before we get, because we're approaching the midnight hour, the witching hour. We're going out tonight on the iBashers channel, solely on the iBashers channel. And that's how we're going forevermore, my friends. We're not piggybacking off of Oshino Malley's channel anymore, formerly the Timeless Watch channel. That's his channel to do his business, and this is our channel to do our business. The iBashers is still Oshino and myself. I just happen to do it 4 days a week, and he joins us on Wednesdays. And we also have Fashion Police. So, and as I said to you guys yesterday about the giveaway, we have a generous donor who is giving us, she gave us an amazing Seiko land tortoise, and that is going to be the giveaway. And I'm going to bring that up for you right now. One moment, please. Okay, so that is what is up for grabs. If you are subscribed to the iBashers channel, come Tuesday, we are going to open up the contest. So you have till Tuesday to like and subscribe. Or super chat if you want. You only get that for the super chats. So we're going to be giving away the land tortoise. It's one of the most beautiful watches. I think you guys are going to love it. But you have to be a member. You can be a new member, old member, it doesn't matter. As long as you're a member, please subscribe to the channel. And it's going to be comprised of that and a trivia question, which anyone will be able to answer if you've been watching the channel. So it's not going to be hard, but that's a really, really, really beautiful watch. And we thank our anonymous donor who is donating this watch to motivate all you motherfuckers to finally subscribe and watch on our channel, because we're not going to be on his channel anymore. What if he wants to have a drink on a Wednesday or a Tuesday or a Monday? Then we don't have it. Bob Sacamano says Logitech. Correct. Logitech owns Blue mics now. Blue microphones were created in Latvia, and this is one of the Latvian ones. It doesn't have the roll off on it. So this is just what it is what it is. And it's great. I've had it for 20 some odd years. I got this in 2000. 2001, I think. My friend Patrick Hicks, who I mentioned earlier, I was bartending in El Rio Grande. I was done with my band. We weren't doing anything. He's like, "Oh, I looked you up online. What are you doing?" So, not doing anything. He goes, "You record anything?" I had like a PC, I had a Sony Vaio, and I had a Logic Pro, but it wasn't called Logic Pro. It was called Logic, and it was by a German company, EMAC. Anyway, long story short, he said, "No, you got to upgrade your studio. You got to get some stuff." And I said, "Are you crazy me?" 2 days later, all this shit showed up in my house. This guy became like my patron. And we made a really cool record called Life Is Now, which I don't know if I have a copy here. But it was really great. It really came out great. I don't have a copy of it. I do somewhere, but I'm not going to go look for it. So I spent about 2 years writing and recording a record. Did most of it with my friend, College Superstar, and so they're all great people. We were talking about kindness yesterday. Patrick Hicks, one of the kindest people I will ever know. He has been a friend to so many other of my musical friends, as a patron, as a fan. He's a musician himself, and he's just an all-around saint. I was on the phone with him yesterday for a couple of hours. While we're not working together right now, this guy just came into my life, and he was one of the most beautiful people in history. So he got me this, and he picked it out. He said there's this, because he knows tech. He says there's this really cool company from Latvia. They're handmade, hand wired, and they're not now because Logitech owns them. They're made in China now. China. So what does that say? Bert Dundee, Ed Sheeran, great guy, but Christ, his music sucks farts. And yeah, I don't know his music. I wouldn't know. Not interested. I just think I liked the movie he was in. I thought he made fun of himself. That Beatles movie, I thought it was really cute. That movie didn't bother me at all. Hands, knees, and toss Coldplay. Does anybody else have their first record, and when it came out, first and second record, Parachutes and A Rush of Blood to the Head, and you thought that they were an amazing band? I did, and then they weren't anymore. He says, "Don't be a snob." Oh, come on, Coldplay are so corny. He's like, he flounces around, and I just think he's annoying. And when he was married to Gwyneth Paltrow, the two of them together were the most hideous, annoying creatures in the history of annoying, hideous creatures. Hated them. I was talking to Oshin yesterday, and he didn't know about Noel Gallagher's Gallagher's American pronunciation, high flying birds in there, and the British say Gallagher's too, right? Yeah, he's a dick, but he's funny in interviews. Topster McDonkey, where have you been tonight? Taylor Swift is a 4 in looks. Oh, okay. She's a 4 in looks and has been an artist history. She's an idiot. Obviously, she's no idiot though, because she's playing the whole wide world. Daniel Gutierrez says $2. Alphaville or Ultravox? Oh, Vienna, come on, Midjur all the way, motherfucker. Yeah. Topster McDonkey's been on a big Carpenter's kick. Now that woman could sing Taylor's Useless Hag. Well, my friend, there is Karen Carpenter, and then there's everyone else. There's like the Beatles and everyone else, and Judy Garland and everyone else. Karen Carpenter was a singular thing, like a Sarah Vaughan or an Ella Fitzgerald. Those kind of people come along down the pike. Katie Lang, in my humble opinion, is the most important living pop vocalist. Her control, her tonality, her delivery, her range, everything about her is just, to me, she's the most perfect singer. She's the Karen Carpenter of right now. And if you guys aren't familiar with her records, go check out her version of Hallelujah live. Don't listen to anybody else's version of that song because it's crap. Rufus says Duran Duran was heavily influenced by Japan. Love Japan. Me too. David Sylvian. Yeah, great stuff. Le Carré, Aerosmith, or Limp Bizkit. I don't need to answer that, do I? And so it goes. Freedom 90. What a fucking masterpiece. He also says Christy Turlington. My bad, Linda. Linda all day, by the way. Linda out of all of them. Linda, and more Linda. She was the most amazing thing ever. Nice fretless work. Is that fretless on Freedom 90? And I believe because George played bass and he was good. I know that he had Dion Estes was his bass player live, but I believe he played bass on a lot of his records. Man, that guy was a very, very, very talented motherfucker. Is that fretless on that? I guess it is, right? Could be Touch. Thomas Burnett, Human League or Pet Shop Boys? Pet Shop Boys. Because I think Neil Tennant and Chris Lowe are geniuses. And here's a gay moment for you. They produced an album for Liza Minnelli called Results. She was managed by Gene Simmons from Kiss, and it's a great album. It's called Results, and it was a great record. Carolyn Martin says, welcome, Andrew, because he's usually at work. And I agree. I watched the Geddy Lee show, and he doesn't have any bass players on there that thrill me. I mean, the guy from Metallica, I couldn't care less. Les Claypool from Primus, I couldn't care less. But man, he's rich. How did Les Claypool make so much money? Jesus Christ. Andrew Wolkowicz, give the man an upvote and subscribe. Could you do it? Look at that watch that could be yours if the price is right. $5 Canadian. Alejandro Caballero. Oh, sorry. Ding, 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 ding. 4 I missed. I apologize. Just wanted to wish everybody here great health, true love, and much success. And Alejandro Caballero, you are a master of the world, a master of the universe, a gentleman, and a scholar. More of you would make the world a better place, my friend. Absolutely. I like how you guys are like talking to each other in the things. Coldplay is for men who cry while you win. You win. Check the super chats, Dirk. I'm doing it. Didn't I fit? I didn't miss anybody. I'm at the end. I make sure. Alejandro, blah, blah, blah. Thomas Burnett. I don't want to miss a single super chat because I don't get that many of them. And it'd be like Archie Luxury. Super chat. I got Martin Evans, right? I got everybody. Yeah, I did. There should be on StreamYard, there should be like a little thing that has all of the super chats all in a line so you could see them. Give the man an upvote. You just wanted to say, I'm going to put this up again because I love you and you're so sweet. And that's so, what a thing to say. Just wanted to wish everybody here great health, true love, and much success. Not everyone, but most of you. Oh, you guys are talking about Jaco Pastorius. Okay. See, I can't tell because you guys are talking amongst yourselves. Like Oisin used to say that I need to get out of the bad habit because iBashers generally goes out as a podcast as well. And people don't know what I'm looking at. And he's correct. So I put the thing up, say hands, knees, and taws. He made his own fretless bass. Yeah, because he took a 62 jazz bass and pulled the frets out with like a butter knife. I just learned that on the Geddy Lee show. Hans also says, even Jeff Beck, Dirk, are you sure? Even Jeff Beck, what? What did I miss? I missed that. I'm sorry. iBashers is for bitchin', Ray. It sure is, right? Duran, Patrick Nagel. I mentioned Nagel earlier because Nagel was the king of the 80s airbrush art. Everybody had his records and stuff. Here we go. Super chat. Thomas Burnett, £1.99. Allison Moye or Charday. Allison Moye. Every day. Daniel Gutierrez, $2. GNR or ACDC. Guns N' Roses, because I don't really like ACDC. They're the same song over and over again, but I can't help but worship them. But it's not my thing. Guns N' Roses have some great stuff. Sure. Mark 5493 says Adam Ant on tour, great performer, Ant music. Dirk wears white socks. Dirk is wearing orange socks today, so I can't. I don't ever wear white socks. Isn't that weird? So it goes, says GNR with Izzy. Like, here's a proud guy who has never gone back to Guns N' Roses, even though the money is so there. He just does not give a fuck. And he was a big writer too. So anyway, I've left this watch up to close the show. It's the Seiko Land Tortoise. It could be yours. As of Tuesday, we open up the show with the official launch of it. It's going to last 1 week. It's going to have a trivia question that all of you are going to be able to answer. And yeah, just all you have to do is subscribe to the channel. Let's see those subscriptions go up. And this was a gift from one of our subscribers who donated it to get the ball rolling, since we have officially left the Oisin O'Malley channel. We are now fraternal. We are now Siamese twins that have been separated surgically. It's over. Oisin's channel is free to fly on its own without the weight of the eyebashes. But we want to get the weight of the eyebashes really heavy. So I want to thank each and everybody. I don't think I missed a super chat. Let me just double check. I don't think so. Nope. I want to thank everybody tonight for your super chats, for your love and affection, and for letting me go on and on about how expensive it is to go see shows. I just think it's a disgrace. And the same goes for sports, and the same goes for Broadway, and the same goes for everything. I can only imagine what a rub and tug costs. And on that note, I'm going to wish you all a good night and say thank you so much. I'll see you Tuesday. Monday for Watch Fashion Police. I want to thank Oisin for sending a bunch of you guys over. And until then, Tuesday. Thanks, everybody. Good night.